blessed, wonderful day. Hopefully, y'all blessed over y'all day. You know what I'm saying? To just start it off right as always and put God first in our life to continue with great success. You know. Um. So I was praying to God this morning, and I always ask Him like, well, lately for the past few days, I say week, I haven't asked Him what He want me to read. Um. But this morning I asked Him what did He want me to read, and he didn't tell. He just told me like to pick whatever I choose to read this morning, and but he did. So I asked him what chapter. So I asked him what did he want me to read, and he just told me like to pick whatever. So I said okay, cool. Then I asked him what chapter did he want me to choose, and what I read. Because with our Father we got to be like specific with um things, and it's just great to ask him because you never know. So I asked him, and he told me chapter 4. So I chose Ecclesiastes chapter 4, you know. And I mean, I read it before, but I don't remember what it's about. So we're going to see what it's about. So I'm going to read it and we're going to see what we get from this. And I also want to read what is it? Joshua chapter 1. Yeah, I think Joshua chapter 1 verse 8. So we'll see. We'll see what we get. So it says, so I return and consider all the oppressions that are done under the sun, and behold, the tears of such as were oppressed. Oh man. And they had no comforter, and on the side of their oppressors there was power, but they had no comforter. Wherefore I praise the dead which are already dead more than the living which are yet alive. So far we just started and it's talking about oppression, right, under the sun. So right now it's a sad moment, and as we know of today, it's a sad moment going on. People are being oppressed under the sun, by their own government in many different nations, different countries, different cities, different states, um, you know, and it's just not going well right now. And at this time, you know, I feel that people really need God, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like, they really need to hear God children come out and speak about, you know, um, how we could be comforted by God in times of, when Satan children are trying to oppress us, and how God can comfort us in, our situations. So it's kind of um I say ironic that this is what what came up today, when God told me to pick a random chapter and choose chapter, I mean pick a random book and choose chapter 4. So I mean this kind of match with the day, so let's see. So I return and consider all the oppressions that are done under the sun, and behold the tears of such as were oppressed, and they had no comforter. See, they didn't have God with them. And on the side of their oppressors there was power, but they had no comforter. Wherefore I praise the dead which are already dead more than the living which are yet alive. Wherefore I praise the dead which are already dead more than the living which are yet alive. You hear that? He said, wherefore I praise the dead which are already dead. So it's so how bad it was in his time is like he praised the dead. He rather praise the dead than the people that was alive because they was living, but it's like, are they really living? You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't have a comforter. So it's like they like the walking dead. Like they literally like, you know, it's just bad, sad, bad, terrible. You know what I'm saying? It's just bad. Like that's how oppressed they was to the fact that he said that he rather um praise the dead that was already dead more than the living which are yet alive, right? Which is kind of what's going on right now. Like this is actually matching up with today. Um, yeah, better is he that both they which have not yet been. Yeah, better is he than both they which have not yet been, who have not seen the evil work that is done under the sun. Yeah, better is he than both they. So he's saying that the one that wasn't even born yet under the sun, he is better than the one that is living on the earth at the time going through oppression, and better than the one that died and and can't come back because he haven't even witnessed, you know what I'm saying, the evil and wickedness of the earth. Or she, he or she haven't even they haven't even witnessed, the wickedness that's going on under the sun. So he says, yeah, better is he than both they, who is they, the ones up there, which he said, wherefore I praise the dead which are already dead more than the living which are yet alive. He said, yeah, better is he than both they which have not yet been. So the one who have not been born, he's better than both the dead and the living. The dead that was on the earth and died and left, and the one that lives on the earth and going through oppression. The one that is not yet been, he's better than both of them. Who have not seen the evil work that is done under the sun. Again, I consider all travail. So let's look up travail and the synonym, and let's see what we get. Because this is what's going on, right? So we want to understand what's going on so we can be able to foresee what could possibly happen, you know what I'm saying? And also while we reading it, um we can hindsight, you know what I'm saying, and understand what's going on. So it says ordeal, trial, tribulation, trouble, hardship. So that's like suffering. Um Privation is PRVATION. PRVATION. A state in which things that are essential for human well-being, such as food, warmth, are scarce or lacking. Mm. You hear this? Don't this sound like what's going on today with the what Apostle Rosalind Solomon, my mother and the Lord, was speaking to us about the man-made famine? So privation is a state in which things are, I mean, a state in which things that are essential for human well-being, such as food and warmth, are scarce or lacking. Mm. Stress. This says drudgery, Drudgery. It says hard manal or door work. Hard manal or door work. So hard labor. So I mean, people gonna be working hard for their money. You know what I'm saying? Working hard labor for their money, but I mean, it's barely gonna get them by because, as we know, the interest rates are high in the economy. So it's gonna be real tough. This say hard manal or door work. Um, Toil, which is exhausting physical labor. Oh, there you go right there. Exhausting physical labor. Exhausting physical labor. Slog, a spell of difficult, tiring work or traveling. A spell of difficult, tiring work or traveling. Slog. Or, is it? Yeah, I think it's slog. You hear that? A spell. It's a spell going on, and we should, well, everyone that listens to Apostle Ross and Solomon, we all should know about witchcraft and the spells that they do. Um, So you see what travail brings? A spell of difficult, tiring work of traveling, effort, or to say strenuous physical or mental exertion. Strenuous physical or mental exertion. Effort. You hear that? Oh my gosh. This is exertion is physical or mental effort. Physical or mental effort. So you're gonna have to use both in this type of time of oppression, you know what I'm saying, of hard travail, physical or mental effort, that which can cause stress, right? Labor, work, and endeavor, earnest and industrious effort, especially when sustained over a period of time. earnest and industrious effort, especially when sustained over a period of time. Earnest and industrious effort, especially when sustained over a period of time. Man, y'all, this is getting deep as we read about one word. Sweet. Moisture exuded through the pores of skin, typically in, I said sweet, I mean sweat. Moisture exuded through the pores of skin, typically in profuse quantities as reaction to heat, physical exertion, fever, or fear. Don't we got a lot of heat going on right now? We got a lot of heat going on. We got a lot of physical exertion going on. We got a lot of people sick, a lot of babies sick with the fevers. They got fevers, and it says our fear. We got a lot of fear going on. That's why the market's dropping. That's why people killing each other. It's just going crazy right now, man. And that's from the word sweat. Struggle, a forceful or violent effort to get free or restrain or resist attack. To struggle. Industry, economic activity concerned with the processing of raw materials and manufacture of goods and factories. Industry. You hear that? Economic activity concerned with the processing of raw materials, manufacture of goods and factories. Economic activities concerned with the processing of raw materials. Don't that sound like they tampering with economic activity concerned with the processing of raw materials and manufacture of goods and factories? Look at that. They're concerned with that. And this time, ain't they concerned with the oil? They're concerned with the oil. They're concerned with the energy, the utilities. You know what I'm saying? They're concerned with the money. They're concerned with the dollar. They're concerned with the coins. There you go right here. It's all right here in travailing. Ain't that something? That's something to know, huh? So this is what's going on right now in Ecclesiastes, and this is what's going on in the economy. So it's kind of like um fascinating that God told me to choose one and to choose chapter 4 and whichever one I choose, and this is actually what's going on, right? So we read, yeah, better is he than both they which have not yet been, who have not seen the evil work that is done under the sun. Again, consider all travail and every right work, that for this a man is envy of his neighbor. So this brain envy. This brain envy. Let's look at envy. This brain envy. So when people going through travail and people going through oppression and people lacking food, people lacking finances, people working hard, physical labor, people got mental effort, physical effort, you know what I'm saying? All these is hot, you know what I'm saying? Fear is all around. Um, as we just read, it's people stressing. Now this causes envy. You see what one thing causes another thing and another thing, like it just get worse and worse. Be envious of, be jealous of, be grudge. So grudge is a feel resentful that someone has achieved something. You hear that? Like someone to be mad if you achieve something. Man, it's not good, y'all. So we have to be real careful out here. We gotta pray and be careful out here that God protect us, and that He put us in the preserved lot while this is going on. Because look what this caused. People will be mad at the things that you achieve. You know what I'm saying? And of course it goes on daily, but this is worse because people don't have. So the lack of having makes people even worse than when they had. Be convacious of. Oh, no, 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 no. I'm reading opposite. Okay, yeah. So that's that. Um, that for this a man is envy of his neighbor. This is also vanity and vexation of the spirit. Oh man, let's look up vanity. This is it causes vanity and vexation to the spirit. So let's look at this. So we got to stay strong, and we got to stay positive, like Apostle Rosalind Solomon said, told us. So vanity means conceit, excessive pride in oneself. So people will be having pride in themselves, self self conceit, undue pride in oneself. They don't want to change. It's called narcissism. Excessive interest in or admiration of oneself and one's physical appearance. Self love. We show hearing that a lot. Vanity is self love. We hearing that a lot. Regard for one's own well being and happiness, chiefly considered as a desirable rather than narcissistic characteristic. Self admiration, the admiration of oneself. Pride. There's a lot of pride going on. What this is. Futility, pointlessness, and uselessness. A whole lot of pointlessness and uselessness is going on. And idleness, laziness, and idleness. You see what this caused? You see what oppressing and dragging down the economy caused? It caused all these things to happen. That's crazy. That is crazy. This is wow. And let's look up vexation. Yeah, we learning right now. We need to beware. You know, when God say beware, we need to be aware of these things. So vexation causes annoyance, make you annoyed, irritation, irritability is the quality or state of being irritable. Aspiration, the feeling of intense irritation or annoyance. So people are going to be very annoyed. Anger, people are going to be enraged. Fury is wild or violent anger, as we seen people they shooting up schools, just shooting up everywhere, you know. Um, wrath, a lot of wrath gonna be going on. Temper, spleen, bad temper, spite. So people are gonna be doing things out of spite. Um, what that is, chagrin, distress or embarrassment at having failed or been humiliated. So people are gonna be feeling at things and being humiliated about it. So they're gonna try to cause distress upon people and embarrassment, man. Piquet, a feeling of irritation or resentment resulting from a slight, especially to one's pride. Mm, mm. Crossness, no, that is indignation, anger or annoyance provoked by what is perceived as unfair treatment. So people are going to be angry, annoyed, and provoked by what perceived as unfair treatment. We know we get unfair treatment here in the United States because they giving people wailing other countries money that, you know what I'm saying, that should be ours because we got homeless people here. We got people that losing homes because the house economy is up. You know, people getting laid off their jobs. You know what I'm saying? So we know it's a lot of unfair treatment here. So people are going to be angered and annoyed and provoked by the unfair treatment. Man, displeasure, a feeling of annoyance or disapproval, discontent, lack of contentment, dissatisfaction with one's circumstances, lack of contentment, dissatisfaction with people are going to be dissatisfied with their circumstances. Um, ill humor, irritability, or bad temper, petulance, petulance, the quality of being childishly sulky or bad tempered. Man, you hear that? I think they say gal, bold and impudent behavior. Man, resentment, bitter indignation at having been treated unfairly. Worry, a source of anxiety. You don't want people to have anxiety, but this is what all this causes. Umbrage, offense or annoyance. Perturbation, perturbation. Anxiety, mental uneasiness. So people is not gonna be uneasy. I mean, people is not are not gonna be people gonna be uneasy in their mind with anxiety. Discomposure, the state of feeling or being disturbed or agitated, and harassment, aggressive pressure, or intimidation. Kneading, prick or pierce something with or as if with a needle. Man, ear, anger. Choler, Choler. In medieval science, the medicine, one of the four bodily humors identified with bowel and believed to be associated with a peevish or irascible tem- temperament. Yeah, man, y'all, this is crazy. This is crazy. God sent me right here, and look what's in the Bible, y'all. Look what's going on. This is what this caused. This is what Satan is trying to cause upon, you know, the people of this world. And also, if he can, if he tried to get to God's children, which he's not, but you see that, like, we witnessing these things, and these words are showing that this is true because we can witness and see these things in our physical life, like outside and also online. It may be in your household, God forbid, but like, this is what's going on. So we have to take um knowledge to this, and understand this, and we got to ask for protection, and we got to pray for these people, like we just did a fast. So we just got to continue, man, because look what this stuff caused. You know what I'm saying? Look what this stuff caused.